they may say, hey, especially if it's early in the relationship, you got to be careful about anybody dipping in your marriage. But if it's early in a relationship, you may have a person who really loves you who says, hey, but you have to consider the source.
Exactly.
Some people may not mean you well. And some people may either be jealous that you have a relationship and they don't, or they may be jealous of you losing you because now you're going to be spending time with that other person. So you really have to consider the source and the way that it's brought to you. Is this somebody who loves me, who I trust, who I know would only say something to me for my? Is this somebody who's just meddling?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do the devil's advocate again because you women. Y'all can start some stuff, and they say that they can. You can have sometimes. Well, men. I don't think men do this as much. And correct me if I'm wrong, but some women can hate on the fact that you got a good relationship and will meddle in it so much to try to destroy it that they don't want you happy because I'm not happy, and that's supposed to be your girl.
But can I even go there?
Yeah,
let's take it
ahead.
back 21 years ago. People that were supposed to have been in my wedding that I was close to.
Oh, come on.
Really close to. Tracy, don't be looking at me.
Thought she was close
really,
to.
Really close to.
She thought she was close to him.
They told me, I am not happy for you. Not because Rick is not a good man. They was not happy for me because I was that go-to girl back in the day for them. They needed money. They needed to hang out. They needed somebody to cry on their shoulder. I was that person. When they told me that and had the nerve to say, I don't want to be in the wedding. And I'm like, well, don't even come to the wedding. Y'all know who y'all are.
I appreciate that. I do too.
Yeah,
I do, but I figure like this. Don't come to my wedding.
Oh, absolutely.
They was at the wedding.
Yeah, but and men don't do that. The reason why we ain't coming to your wedding because we ain't got no money to buy a tuxedo. Right. That's pretty much what it is. Hey, that's too much, bro. I can't afford it.
We was all at the bank, Talayah.
Really?
They told me how they felt.
Ain't that a shame?
I realize how blessed I am because I have never had friends who were like that, and I know. And
Tracy
Tracy
got a word
but
blessed.
You know what? I hear these stories, and I am blessed because I have never had any friends who have like that. We are happy for each other if something good happens to the other, because then it means, hey, could happen to me too. It happened to her. Hey, it's my turn next. You never know.
You had some of those. You had some of those droplet friends. That's what it was.
Right. It's gonna rain on me
too. You had some good friends. You had some of those drop off friends. Because that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you have some friends that you can stick with that are going to be there for you. And then you got some friends that'll drop off because things are going good for you. So you have drop off friends, or seasonal. Yeah, because they'll be around for a while until things are going good for you. It's almost like misery loves company. But they don't want misery to be happy.
The foul weather friends. They got fair weather friends. Those are the foul weather friends.
So,
when it's bad.
So like I said, in a little bit, we're going to have David Steele call in. And I keep on saying David's calling from Philadelphia. He's calling from Philadelphia, California. He calling from somewhere. One of those coasts. Yeah, he's calling somewhere. Go ahead, Janae.
Can I ask Brenda, I'm curious. So after they told you that, did they still have a place in your life after that, or were they dismissed?
They were dismissed.
Okay,
that's the problem I do have to work with. I terminate, and I ask God to grant me Talayah's middle name, Grace.
Yeah. Hey, David, are you out there? David, are you out there?
Hi, this is David.
Hey, David, how you doing? Welcome to the Let's Stay Together show.
I have to do David introductions. May I do your introduction, David?
Well, please do.
Okay. We have Mr. David Steele. He is from California, a California-based marriage and family therapist. He fell in love with coaching in 1997. Founded Relationship Coaching Institute, the first and the largest international relationship coach training organization. Welcome to the Let's Stay Together show, David.
Rick and Brenda, thanks so much for having me.
Hey, David, I'm going to ask you this real question because these women been jumping on me in this place, and I've been so glad that I have a man here with me. I want you to, we talked about a couple of these questions. I want you to just have your viewpoint on it. What is a deal breaker? Explain to us in a man's perspective, what is a deal breaker or a counselor perspective? Everybody here is a counselor, but give us your perspective on that as well.
Well, a deal breaker is going to be a relationship breaker, right? That's what we're really talking about. And I have a little paradigm that I call requirements and needs and wants, and it's just a way of breaking down what you want or need in a relationship in a way that kind of makes it easy and makes sense. And so a requirement would be a deal breaker. That's like what you would absolutely need for a relationship to work for you. if it's missing, a relationship would not work for you. It's pretty black and white, there's not too much gray there, and it really is an unsolvable problem. You can't really solve it. And, some examples of deal breakers, absolute black and white deal breakers for a lot of people involve like infidelity or, addictions or, really irresponsible, immature behavior that really violates trust, that most people would not want to hang out in a relationship if that happens.
Yeah. We also talked about a little bit about some deal breaker baggage that sometimes people can bring into relationships. Discuss a little bit. We're trying to bring you up to speed what we talked about. Discuss a little bit about the deal breaker baggage that people can bring into a relationship.
Well, I don't like to look at the past as something that we can't get behind. But it is absolutely true that, some people can't get past the past, right? So the real question is, how does that show up now? How is it showing up in the relationship? So just having baggage by itself is not the problem. The problem is, how does it show up in your life and relationship?
Yeah. So, David, also tell us a little bit about what you do as far as helping people with relationships.
Well, I tell you, Rick, I spent over 20 years as a therapist in private practice, specializing in couples. And most couples will come to me when their relationship is on the rocks. I mean, they're close to divorce. I'm probably the last stop before the divorce lawyer. And, what I learned is that by that time, a lot of those couples just want the pain to be gone. They want their relationship to be over. They really want to move on. And so I learned the hard way that, waiting until it's too late is not the best way to have a great relationship. So I fell in love with coaching. Coaching is a very positive, goal-oriented, way of looking at life and of helping people. It's kind of like having a personal trainer. So if you go to the gyms, yeah, you can work out all by yourself, but you have a personal trainer that really, really helps you, stay on track and achieve your fitness goals. Same with a coach, whether it's for your life or your relationship or your business. So what a relationship coach would do would be, first to find out, who are you and what do you want, and then to work with you, okay, well, if that's what you want, then how do you get what you want? And then hold your hand and support you in achieving that. And so when we talk about deal breakers, a lot of us in relationships, we're not very good at picking partners. And then when we do pick a partner, we have a lot of confusion. Is this the right relationship for me? Should I or shouldn't I? Should I stay or should I go? Should I make a commitment or not? And a lot of the times it's really opaque. It's confusing that we have, I like to call it 51-49. 51% of me feels this way, and 49% of me feels this way. And so, what do you do with that? So a coach, a relationship coach, especially for singles, can really help you stay on track with who you are and what you want, and not to settle. That's probably the biggest sabotager of relationships, is settling for the wrong relationship in the first place.
Yeah.
Number one, because you don't want to be alone. Number two, because breaking up is hard to do. Number three, because 51-49, should I or shouldn't I? Well, there's a lot of value here, but there's this wrong, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe I can change them, maybe not. And so we end up settling for a relationship, and the very reason that we settled, the thing that we don't like in the beginning, the thing that we wish would change in the beginning, that ends up breaking the relationship up later, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Dave, we're going to let the ladies join in here. And today, I want you to do something for me real quick before we do another question. You've got some announcement that you want to add in there, so do that for me now so we can go forward, because I know it has something to do with relationships as well.
Absolutely. And I want to, first of all, thank you for allowing me to. There's an awesome event by Pastor Antonio and First Lady Leah Rockmore, who is hosting the Affairs of the Heart. And the talk that I'm personally giving, I'm keynoting at this women's conference, is Conquering the Broken Heart. And it's a heart-to-heart event, which is perfect for anyone that's interested in confronting and conquering the internal hurts, the pains that you just, like, as far as David said, you can't get past the past, pretty much there. And also being able to learn the keys to really be able to forgive, let go, let God, and relationship realism tools, as I call it, to attracting, rebuilding, and nurturing the right relationships while exploring yourself. So this event is taking place on March 21st, Saturday at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be at Powerhouse Ministries International, located at 7042 Southwestern. And you can go right now to Affairs of the Heart Women's Conference.eventbrite.com. So just go to Eventbrite, type in Affairs of the Heart Women's Conference to register for you and bring someone that you love in your life, because I promise you, I'm going to reveal some things that I haven't even revealed to the public yet that's going to really cause you to go from broken to breakthrough. So do not miss this event.
I like that. You know, and that's good. Janae, we'll have that on our Facebook and our webpage as well.
Thank you.
David, let me ask you this question, David, before I go to Talayah here. David, if someone is trying to get in contact with you with relationship matters or deal breaker situations, how can they contact you?
Well, my main website is relationshipcoachinginstitute.com, and that's for relationship coach training. I have a website for singles at consciousdating.com. I have a website for couples at radicalmarriage.com.
Oh, radical marriages. I like that.
Radical.
And so, David, it's like now, is there any times where you go from state to state, or do you have conferences that you have that people can come to as well?
Relationship Coaching Institute is a distance learning organization, so we train people from all over the world by telephone and internet.
Okay.
And, I travel and, go to conferences and things like that, but people don't need to come to us. We go to them.
Okay, great. Talayah, I know you've got some things you have as well you want to share with us. Give us some information about you as well.
Okay, well, I have a couple of relationship products. My first book was a relationship book called Crossing the Threshold, Opening Your Door to Successful Relationships. It talks about the mindsets that we have sometimes in relationships that cause us to repeat the same patterns over and over again. The main three characters are the doormat, which is pretty self-explanatory. The door prize thinks it's all about her. And the doorbell, which is the balanced, God-focused woman who's ready to be in a relationship. There are several other door personalities, and we deal with just a lot of the issues. We talk about the baggage, the Cinderella syndrome, the meantime relationships, and some of those types of things, as well as how to become what you're seeking, recognize true love, and the real meaning of being a helpmeet. I also have an ebook called 150 Important Questions You Should Ask Before You Say I Do. And they're broken
150?
into... Yeah,
oh, my God.
It started with 20, and it just kept going.
I just asked one. Do you want to be with me?
Well, that's when you get to the end. But I asked a lot of married people. I interviewed people for both books, but I asked a lot of married people what they wish they'd ask before they got married. And the book is divided into 4 sections. So things you want to ask yourself before you even get into a relationship, those self-analyzing questions. Then when you get in the early stages of dating, those questions you want to ask. You don't fire them all at one time, but, gradually you introduce these questions, or even you can watch behavior and answer them yourself. And then as you start to get more serious, what are the questions that you should be asking? And then when you're actually contemplating marriage, the more serious, hard-hitting questions.
That's the ebook?
Ask.
Yes,
That's the ebook. Right.
Sounds good.
Danae, you want to add in something too as well?
I do. In regards to resources, as Talayah gladly mentioned her wonderful books there, I also have a book titled Love After Adultery, The Breakthrough Journey of the Brokenhearted, because we're talking about deal breakers tonight, and one of the big deal breakers for a lot of people is cheating and affairs. So this is a book that you want to get if either you have gone through this and you are working on recovering, and more so knowing that your marriage does not have to end because of an affair, that you can rebuild that bad boy like me and my husband to make it better than it ever was before. And also getting this book to look at a proactive approach there, how to infidelity proof your marriage, what you should be looking for to try to actually avoid. So you can get this book on Amazon.com, or you can go to my website, www.danaemacklin.com, and check me out on Facebook, The Conquering Coach, and just connect with me. I'm a life purpose certified life coach, as well as professional business coach, empowerment speaker there, and ultimately the purpose of life is a life of purpose. So reach out to me. Love to connect to you.
Yeah, I do like that. Go ahead, baby.
Before I ask David a question, Talayah, did we talk about light bulbs?
Oh, no, we didn't talk about light bulb moments. That's my newest book, and that is I I would love to tell people the story. God promised me a bestseller, and out of 4,000